you'll notice that I went ahead and completed this main building over here. So I did the same exact process that I did with the smokestacks, highlighted the two not connected paths, Command J to join them. So go ahead and pause the video and then connect all the paths on this like you did on the rectangle, and then swap the fill and stroke. Once you've done that, come back to the video and follow along from there. Alright, so we have some drawing going on. We've been doing some work. One thing we need to be smart about is saving early and often. Power goes out, somebody trips a cord, computer freezes. I say get in the habit every 5 minutes saving your work. How do I know this isn't saved? If I look at my file name, there's a little asterisk right there. It tells me it is not saved. So I want to hit Command S. I say every 5 minutes, Command S. Get in a good habit of that. The rest of this tutorial, we're going to clean up some of the work we've been doing. So I've been kind of making it up as I go. There's a couple things I see I don't like so far, so we're going to clean it up a little bit. First thing first. With my black arrow, I'm going to select this main factory building, and I'm going to drag out to the left, and I want that to be about, let me see, 6.5 inches, somewhere around there. Don't have to be exact, but get it close. And then I'm going to click down, and I want to get our building stacks, maybe not quite that low, maybe about halfway over the vertical line. All right, half over our guideline. Next thing is, I want this smokestack to be coming out of this part of the building, and I want this smokestack to be a little bit closer. So let's start with this one. The smokestack, shift, left arrow, get the gap, just like that. I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to option drag while I'm holding shift, and I'm going to put it right in the middle. I'm going to hit that intersect right there. So how about I hit that intersect, and I'm going to let go. It's not quite in the middle, so maybe shift. I'm just going to eyeball it a little bit, something like that. Now I want to cut the bottom part of this off, following this exact angle. I'm going to use the Scissor Tool to do that, but I need to swap this smokestack or this rectangle back to a stroke and fill. Same thing with the building for now. I'm going to swap it just so I can see the lines with no fill. I want to take my Scissor Tool, and right where these intersect, I'm going to click and click. Then I'm going to take my black arrow, and I'm going to click on the part I don't want, which is right down here, and hit delete. Okay, so that cut off the bottom of our smokestacks. I want this smokestack to have kind of a gap like this has off the roof. So I'm going to take my direct selection tool, and I'm going to click on the anchor. I'm going to hold shift. I'm going to click on the other anchor, and then I'm going to move those points up a little bit. How am I going to do that? With them both selected. You can tell they're both selected because they're filled in. These ones aren't because they're white. How am I going to move them? With them both selected and the direct selection tool active, I'm going to hit return on the keyboard. That's going to open up the move dialog box. I'm going to look at my preview, and the last move we made, which is to move this all over, was this number. But we're not moving horizontal, we're moving vertical. So make sure preview's turned on, and horizontal move, we don't want it to move horizontal at all, so we want that to be 0. And then hit the tab key, tab on your keyboard, to move to the next dialog box. And I want to move those points up about 0.2 inches. So up in this case is minus. So minus 0.2, hit the tab key. And as long as preview's on, you can see it kind of made the move that I want. I'm going to click OK. Now we need to fill that in like we did everything else. We need to join those gaps. So Command J creates that line. Then we swap, fill and stroke. And then I'm going to take my black arrow. I'm going to select on that building. Shift X, swap fill and stroke. Now we have smokestack, smokestack, building. Next set of tutorials, we're going to maybe create some windows using the grid tool, which is this one, maybe some smoke, stuff like that. Let's save before we exit, or before I end the tutorial, Command S. Next tutorial, we'll continue on with our building.